Hey everybody out there, Facebook and YouTube, this is Kris Nicholson. As you can see, I've been opening up my Korg Kronos many times because I've been upgrading it, but I just want to show you the reason why and what I use. Before I show you the reason why, I'm going to show you what I used. Right over here, this is very important. Your Kronos might come with only one DDR2. So what I did is I bought two of these PNY DDR2s, the 2 gigabytes, and they're 64, speed. And I took the original Kronos one out. The reason of that is because two of them the same will run a lot faster than one that doesn't even recognize each other. So what happens is that it upgraded from 2 megabytes to 3 megabytes, and I think it actually upgraded to 4 because it also has virtual memory. But this is the original DDR RAM that was inside the Kronos, which I will use probably into another machine, more like my Phantom, which it already has something in there, but I might just upgrade it even more. Okay, and also I have 3 of these inside. These are little PNY 32 gig flash drives, and they're pretty good for storing memory and for, if you wanted to separate your stuff. So inside the Kronos there's 4 USBs. So with the 4 USBs that is inside the Kronos, if you open it up and do it wisely, I actually put 2 of these in there. I had 3, but I took out 1, and I put one of these in the back of the Kronos, because in the back of the Kronos there's 2 USBs. So there's one here, and there's 2 internally inside the Kronos. And I'll show you the feature why. Well, before I do, let me show you this too. Right over here, I had a drive. Basically, it was an SSD drive, and I bought this adapter. I didn't think the drive would work, but I tested it out and it was perfect. So what I did is I bought this adapter, and it comes with the SATA wire, which is actually already built into the adapter, and it's 3.0, so it's really fast in the 2.0s, which is really good. And that's how big the adapter is usually, but I should have showed it to you when I opened up the machine before. Now this will also recognize the USB 2.0, backwards compatibility to the USB 2.0 drives. Alright, so that's good to have. The reason for that is, let me go to the disk, and as you can see right over here, this is the first drive that it comes with, which is the internal. And there's many drives on here. There's the internal, there's the Kris drive, which I put on, and that's another SSD drive, solid state. And there's the samples, which is another SSD. Now, these 3 right over here are the USBs. They're just the regular flash drives right here. So, how did I get 3 SSDs? The first one came with the Kronos. The second one was an option that you could put in. There's only 2 options. The third one, it recognized it because of this adapter. So you can get a, I guess it's called a Seagate or stuff like that, one of those regular USB drives, and just put it straight in, and it'll recognize it as an adapter. And just use double stick tape to actually attach it onto there. I'm going to reinforce it later on to go back in, because I'm going to upgrade all of these to HHDs. Okay, and also over here I have my USB for original songs, and I have my USB for cover songs. Now the one that says Kronos user, that's the one in the back that I could take out, put into my computer, upload back and forth. So I use that as Kronos user. But the reason the internal, go to media info, internal's only 30 gig. Not really that much room, so I use that for just only preloads. you know, anything that's if you want to preload factory, if you want to preload your own users of what your main stage is for preloading. Okay, next one over here. Oops, get it back. Next one over here is the Kris drive. And the Kris drive, that is going to be where my huge, you know, hurrah of musical production is going to be. Because the reason for that is that the second drive that I installed in myself that's not in here, it's 500 gig. And it's a direct access drive, you know? It's solid state, which is really cool. So I got 500 gigs on that. I got 32 on the other one, which is the original one. Next one. Sample memory. Now the sample memory is 500 gig too. And the reason I needed, I have the samples on the USB. Don't do that. The reason of that is because you want to flip to those samples really, really fast. So let's go into load on the sample. By the way, just to show you again, it's 500 gigs. So I got two 500 gig drives right here and a 30. So if I go to load and I put not only samples right here, but I also put sound fonts, which is really cool. So let's go to more samples, because samples are waveforms. Press open. And I'm going to use the jog wheel, but these are all my samples right here. Now, when it was on the jump drive, I couldn't do it this fast. I have samples galore. And a lot of people ask me, how did I get all these samples? There's a lot of people that haven't paid me and I just raided their computers. Nah, just kidding. Well, actually, in a way, it's kind of true. What happened is that I have friends that have samples. And back then, I was into like the hip-hop industry. I was making money doing that. And yes, I did hip-hop. And I did rock and roll, heavy metal. I did all different kinds of music. But, and they didn't have the money to pay me, so what we did is we did a favor for a favor, and they got me samples, and samples came from other people's computers, so I might have their original samples too. But say for instance something like Human Beat, yes, I do have Bathroom Manor, and that came from a sample CD that I forgot who had it, but I had to take that. But here, these are all the beatbox waves right over here. So if I go up, and if I wanted to go to like funk beats right over here, press that, press open. These are all the funk beats right over here. Everything is separated, everything is categorized. So let's go to something complex, like say for instance, oh, here we go, the Yamaha Motif drum sets. So I open that up, and these are the Yamaha Motif drum sets right here. So what if I wanted the hip hop kit 2? Press open. Oops, I'm not pressing it. There we go. And look how fast it did it. And these are all the tracks right here. These are all the tracks. It has a lot more tracks right here. And it's still just a little tad slow, but it's not as slow as when it was on the USB. So that's my samples right here. Let's go back up. Go back up again. And you have sound fonts. Stuff that you use for FL Studio. These are all your sound fonts right here. So if I open that up, it takes a little while to open because everything is in one file. It's not categorized. But it should open any minute. But scrolling through it is very fast. You'll see what I mean. There we go. It's all open up. I got the orchestra battery, which is the EMU stuff, so I can make this thing go really fast. So here's all of the before I couldn't do this on a USB. It just went like this. 1, had to wait. 2, had to wait. 3, had to wait. It had to do that many times, and it's a pain in the ass. So that's why I installed the third drive on here. Okay, so going back to the drives, this over here is the USB, which is this right here, and this over here is my original songs, which I don't have anything on there yet because I have to work with my computer for that. And over here, this is my cover tunes. So open that up. Those are all the cover tunes that I have right now. You know, that's if I play by myself with the, you know, on stage, and it's just me. So these are the cover tunes that I have right over here. But just wanted to show you. So this is the tip of the day. I mean, you could get these, but mostly get a big drive, which is a solid state SSD, and get one of these adapters, which is really cool. And change your RAM. Make sure it's the same exact ones. So 2 of the same exact ones, they can interact with each other. And have a couple of these on hand. You might need them. Now the drive that I took out of this, that was internal for the songs, I mean for the samples and the sound funds, I'm using that for my Korg PA600. You know, because it's not poking out. I don't like those big drives. I'll give you an example. Let me see if I can find it here. Drives like these. It's too big, as you can see. And it pokes out, it doesn't look good. You might forget it, put it in your bag, it'll snap, you know? So these drives are just going to be for if every time I go to Guitar Center or Sam Ash, I could just take, you know, put whatever they have in there and just take it home and work with it. So those are my filler drives. Alright everybody, that's your tip for the day. Get more USBs, get the same RAMs, and get the adapter for another solid state drive so you can actually have more power to your Korg Kronos. Thank you everybody. I'll see ya. Bye.